Hello everyone, welcome back to my video, and I guess it's been a while. So today I'm going to review two games, the round 5 and round 6 of AGA City League. So far I reviewed one game at a time, but because I missed the last round, I thought today I'll just review both games and then make this video a little longer. And since the video is going to be a bit long anyway, I thought I would also take this opportunity to share about my updates a little because I noticed that some of you were wondering how I am doing. So starting with my update. So I think I may have mentioned a few times in some of my previous videos that I was working at a tech startup as a software developer. And when I said that, at first some people thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. I worked as a software developer at a startup called Shinspire. I had a wonderful time there. And then last March, I moved a job. Now I'm working for a very large company called Dun & Bradstreet. And I am a backend software engineer. And I've been busy lately because I needed to catch up with the new job. So in the previous company, I used Ruby on Rails and jQuery. The new company mainly uses Java and React. Plus, there are all sorts of different tech stacks that they use. So I'm still kind of trying to learn and catch up with these new tech skills. So that's mainly my full-time job. And in my free time, I've been kind of helping out or working on Baduk development. You may have seen my previous video about Baduk, and since then there were a lot of updates. So there's another major feature coming up soon. So once that feature's out, I'm hoping to make another video. But for those of you who haven't heard of Baduk, it's a mobile app. It's available on iOS and Android, and also on Galaxy Store if you're using Samsung phone. So it's a mobile app for solving Go problems, and there are also lessons, just a mini lessons. So yeah, check it out. I am very proud of this app. We've been working hard as a team. We have more than 3,000 Go problems now and still going up, and adding lessons that we think is interesting, etc. So that's some of the updates. You can probably imagine that these things are occupying me quite a bit. And other than that, I'm mostly staying at home here in California. Things are not very good here. So I've been working from home, but still healthy. And I hope all of you who are watching these videos also are holding up and staying safe. So that's it. And then let's talk about some of the City League. So AGA City League is an annual league sponsored by PandaNet. I guess that's very obvious. And the teams are regional teams with 4 players each. And let me switch the image over here. Yes. So I have 4 other videos reviewing the previous 4 rounds. And as you can see, I'm in the Bay Area team. I will be reviewing the round 5 and round 6 games today. And you can see that Bay Area team has been doing really well so far, but we didn't do very well in the last 2 rounds. I'll tell you more about it soon. So should we start with the round 5 game? Okay, so the first game to review is the 5th round, and we played against Vancouver team. My opponent was Bill Lin, and I've met him actually a few times because he's one of the strongest players in North America, and he represented Canada in some of the international tournaments that I was part of the organizing team. So I was happy to have a game with him, and I believe it was actually my first game against him. It was pretty fun. And I also want to thank Ger. This is not a good pronunciation. He's Dutch, and Ger is the one who's been maintaining the database for my YouTube channel with the SGFs. And when I sent him this game record, he did some Lila Zero analysis and shared that result with me. So I know for sure where things went wrong. So I'll also share them with you. So let's look at the game. I was black, and in AGA City League, the colors are decided by the organizers. So it's preset, and then we just follow it. And let's see. So kind of just peaceful opening, and then playing here. Yeah, something interesting is that AI always prefers white. So when you're just starting a game, white seems to have like 53% of win rate. So yeah, I don't know what to be done about it, but I thought that was just interesting. And just a normal opening, I don't seem to have nothing much to share. And this move over here, I might not have chosen this before, because even though corner is usually very large, before I think I preferred kind of going to the wide open side first. So like I could have considered somewhere like this, or I don't know, maybe around that, or even like coming over here. Yeah, these were the moves that I would have considered first, but in the actual game I played here because these days it seems, yeah, pretty certain that the corners are a lot more valuable than it looks. More than side apparently. So I played here, and I thought I might actually get away with it in Sente if white responses like this. So that was the thinking, and then white comes over here, and then I get in since white didn't respond to my one space jump. Something nice about this S16 jump is that the typical attach move doesn't work as well after this black, because black can play like this and then like save this one stone. Yeah, this thing wouldn't be possible without the S16. So that's why this follow-up invasion is somewhat more stronger. Yeah. Anyway, so we continue like this. White makes some exchanges in the corner, and then Tenukis. And then and I think this invasion is probably way too aggressive, but I thought I wanted to play some interesting game, and I was curious how white would handle this. So yeah, that's why I played here. I think maybe more common move would be like this, especially when your opponent doesn't respond to your R12 invasion. This is the most intuitive follow-up. But I was like, maybe we can get more intense with the fight. So white plays here, and I think the white's intention was that if I respond, then white would attack this one stone, something like this. Yes, I think something like this was white's thinking. I didn't respond to that attach. I thought the black stone on R8 is more important than R12, so I wanted to save this stone first. And I thought this was definitely Sente because with another move, black can capture the white 3 stones. But white actually didn't respond, and then I swallowed all white 3 stones. And actually, according to that Lila analysis, at this point, black is actually above 50% now. You know, considering that white started with 53%, so I think maybe it was white's misjudgment to give up the 3 stones. And white comes over here. And another nice thing about the black shape in this lower right corner is that even with like white stones like this on the M line, it's not Sente. Like there isn't much white can do even after this. So that's pretty solid for black. And white has to respond. And then I invade. Oh, I wonder if this block was somewhat slow now that I think about it. You know, I looked at the analysis, but I don't remember everything about it. To be honest, I didn't spend too much time on it. I looked at the key points. But I realized that, so in the actual game, I invaded, after this, I invaded here. But I think at this point, the game was about 50-50 again. So that means somehow after capturing the white stones on P6, where black was above 50 and now it's about 50-50. So I must have lost a few points there. Yeah, okay. So we continue like this, and then I was kind of trying to get safe quickly, and that's why I did that. And it's a sort of Miai where if white responds about here, black can come like this, right? Well, let's see. Maybe I need, maybe I need some exchange around here. Huh. Yeah, that seems very risky for black. So let's see what happens about here. Like what happens if I do like this? Wait, can white attach this one? Oh yeah, that seems dead. Okay, so maybe white could have played there. Or maybe I would have played this one instead. And then there is something like this. Yeah, anyway, I thought there must be something in the corner. And then white responded, which is like a very usual thing to do. When your opponent makes tiger mouse like this, usually the first move you think of is Atari. So white does that, and then I connect my group. Very nice. But actually, I didn't foresee this invasion, but after white played there, I felt like, this is like a little painful. Because if I just come out like this, white can connect in a very nice shape. And I didn't like that at all. But then if I didn't respond but play like this, white can kind of swallow the black stone, and that seems pretty big. And also after, white can get like this and then that. So yeah, no, that doesn't seem right. So I first saved the one stone. But then this is also somewhat painful that I'm now connecting on the first line instead of the second line. And then over here, usually black does need to come out like this. But then once white blocks this one, yeah, that shape seems really good for white. So I didn't want that to happen and then jumped. I guess white was probably tempted to Hane here. Would have been really nice place. I wonder if black comes over here, white can jump. Maybe black would come out. So I guess one nice thing about this scenario for black is that when white tries to save this group, black can be connected underneath. So maybe that's why white responded to my one space jump and then I come out. At this point, I think the game is very close. I think almost 50-50. And then around here, it seemed like AI was preferring black actually. Maybe because white's group over here is somewhat weak. And then white attaches here. And at this point, it seemed like Lila was very certain that black should be playing like this. And of course, I have thought about it. But one thing I was concerned was that there is a little weakness around here for black shape with this wedge. Right? And then, of course, black doesn't need to respond or like this. And the order would be a key on how to go about this. Because if white exchanges this on first, as I was kind of simplifying it, black can peep over here, kind of countercut. But then if black peeps here before white peeps me first, then now white can cut me like this. So this kind of situation, it's very tricky because you can't really peep without like exposing your own weakness. But then without the peep, you can't really cut your opponent. So it's very complicated. In the actual game, I didn't choose that option because I wanted to be a little safer. So I wedge here first, which gives somewhat better shape to white, but then I don't get cut. So we went on like this. So you can see that this black and this white and this black and this white, all these four groups are trying not to get stuck inside. So we are all going out. And then white is securing this group, and then I'm securing my group. So I was very happy when I got these attach and then Atari because that exposed this white's weakness. And white cannot just connect. The only move for white is this Atari, and then there is this ko. Well, the sad part is that I couldn't really start ko right away because I didn't have like enough ko threads, and then if I lose the ko, there is this cut on F16. So I needed to do some prep work before. And then also I was hoping that maybe if white is concerned, white might play another move, and then I get another sente. That would be nice. But of course, white doesn't, connect like that. And then I was very surprised about this connection, but apparently that was the good move. I thought white would play something like this. But white plays here, and then I come out, and then I get all these in sente. So when I connected it here, actually the AI thought black was ahead. Yeah, when I was playing this game, I also felt like things were going well for me. But the situation changed pretty quickly. So the first mistake I made was that I shouldn't have started ko right away. the AI proposes this tiger mouse and then kind of force white to connect and then have this code maybe later. Yeah, so that would have been much better. When I cut here, I thought I was confident that I would win this code. And that was because of my misjudgment. So basically, so after these code threads, so all these code threads are big enough that like both sides have to answer. And then after this, like none of the code threads that I have was actually big enough. But in the actual game, when I was actually playing it, I didn't realize. So Lila proposes that I should have played this code thread and then take this one. And then if white takes this code thread, black should respond and then like continue like this. And with this, it seems like black still has above 50% chance to win this game. In the actual game, the reason why I thought I would win this code mainly was that I thought around here I had many code threads. What I didn't realize was that this was not quite big enough. So you see that 5 white stones, it looks really big. But turned out like what white can kill in the upper side was actually much bigger. Yeah, so after this, like the win rate was pretty high. Yeah, so I lost this game and my team also lost the round 1-2. So I felt really bad. But oh well, Bill is a strong opponent and it was an interesting game. So we played until the end game, but then I lost. Yeah. Okay, so I think I will stop here for this game and then continue with the 6th round. So let's look at the 6th round game. I am black again. So the opponent team was Waterloo and my opponent's name was Xijin Dong. Forgive me for my pronunciation. But anyway, so I was black again. And this was a very interesting game and I thought it was still very difficult until my opponent made kind of huge mistake and then the game was over kind of early. So we'll see. So I chose this cross opening because, you know, I felt like it. There is no special reason. And then I thought white's 3-3 point was interesting, but then it makes sense given the modern days emphasis on the corner, and then in the cross opening, it's difficult to build something in the moyo. So yeah, why not? And I approach, and white approaches also. And I haven't seen this one space jump before, I believe. The usual response would be to go like this. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I thought about it and then I just tenukied. So I came over here and then white plays over there. Yeah, that seems like a good shape point, but then also a little slow because it doesn't threaten the black stones right away. So I tenuki and then take the lower side. And also this pincer, I'm not quite familiar. So I wasn't too sure what to do about it. I expected white to respond something like this, and then I was going to just extend. Very peaceful opening. But white pincered, and then I thought, well, white didn't respond, so let me go about like this, and then white pushes. I thought maybe I could jump like this and then white comes over here and then maybe I jump and white jumps and then I come over here. So this could have been one variation, one possible continuation. But then that seemed a little, I don't know, loose. And I was curious what would happen if I played the strongest move. So that's why I han it. And then of course white cut. If white han it back, I was going to extend because connecting here now would look a little silly. And double hane doesn't really work because white would come over here. Although there is a code that black can start. This is like not a direct code where even after like one of the white's code thread, I can't kill it with one move. I need like one move and then another move. So it's a difficult code to win for black. And then I wasn't sure about having this kind of code threat. I mean, code fight. So my plan was to actually extend like this. And I thought maybe this is somewhat better shape than the one space jump. But anyway, white cut, which is very strong move, and then I extend. If I extended this way, it would have been somewhat similar situation where black has to start a call in order to save this one stone. But of course I extended this way so that if white comes around here, I'll be able to just kill it. So white doesn't Atari that side, but this side. And then this now seems to be very difficult for both sides. Here, if white continues from the outside, it seems like for the capturing race, black is in advantage. So that's why white came back to the corner, and then I wanted to have some more liberty outside before I kind of go inside the corner. So basically the white in the corner is not alive yet. But then if I start here right away, it's going to be not very clean for white. It could become cool and then white will be strong in the outside. So I wanted to have some more space outside before I do anything with the corner. And I attach. If white harness from this side, I was going to harness back and like this, or if white cuts like that, it's going to be like this. So that was the plan. And white harness from the outside and then I come back. And this is nice because now I can go out. If white tries to cut, I can come out from this side. Even if white makes these exchanges, at some point, black can still come out like this. So white cannot hane from the inside. And that means black's out. And this corner is not alive yet. So I was actually happy at this point about the situation. And then white is kind of trying to attack two groups at the same time. It would have been more compelling if the corner was alive already. But luckily for the black, white needs another move, and then that will let black kind of be safe in both places. So black's out, and then white's still trying to surround the black group. If white responds from this side, my plan was to get in and then connect the one stone like this. And it seems like for the capturing race, black would be, a few liberties ahead at least. And that's why white harnessed from this side. which I kind of didn't expect. But it was a very strong move because if I cut here, one thing white can do is to push back, and then I can't do this because of that. And if I do this, white would just connect. Of course, white couldn't save this one because of this cut. But I think with this connection, it will be good enough result for white. So if I Atari this one, this is somewhat better for black. And then if white comes here, black can take this. Now that I look at it now, I wonder if this was a better choice for me. Because in the actual game, I was concerned about this white's push. So that's why I just wedged here instead. And the idea was that if white comes out like this, I can go out. And then if white plays here, then I would cut it. So white pushes and then I connect. Oh, and then the idea was that once white makes this exchange, black can go out this side because white's liberties are filled out. You see, so this white is kind of out of liberty. And then if white harness here, I would go out and then white cannot cut. This is leather. This would have been fun, right? And if white harness here, then I can go out. White can't cut because of this group. So white has to go out and black can connect. So all this is pretty nice for black. So white harness from this side. And then I go out. White pushes. So when white was keep pushing me, I was wondering if I should just tenuki, but then I wasn't sure what to do once white harness here. Can I harness back and then white cuts like this? And even though this white's corner is not alive yet, I don't like the idea of getting into capturing race. And also if I kind of make these kind of exchanges, I might lose these 4 stones. So this seems very uncertain. And then I was wondering if it was critical for me to go over here. One nice thing though was that if I had a stone here, this cut was going to be very nice shape for me. And then come like this. White cannot really take this one because of this hane. So I was tempted to just tenuki and then push here. But I didn't like the idea of white playing here. So I extended. And then I was wondering what would happen if white tries to surround this black group, like what white played in the actual game. But actually, I knew that there was no move after this to contain this black group. Because if white tries something like this, then black can actually just cut through it like this. And this white group is dead. If white tries something like this, black can kind of push around and then same thing like that. Also, white couldn't push this because then black can hane and then white cannot cut. If white plays here, then there is this cut. White has to extend and then this one stone is captured. So overall, I thought I could afford to play here. And then that's what happened. I played here. And then white pushes again. And now I really want to play here. But then I'm not sure if I can get out of it after this, right? And even though I knew I could try to kill this corner in a capturing race, if white gets to fill the outside in Sente in capturing race, I was worried that white would become really thick outside, and then that would make my game kind of difficult. So after some thoughts and debates, I just played the center and then white harness. And I'm thinking it would be so nice to harness back, but then I'm a little concerned about this cut. I'm thinking it's probably playable for black, something like this. But at the time, it felt a little risky. And then I thought maybe I'm doing well because I can still capture the corner. And this black shape, it has a weakness of this cutting point over here. So I thought I would be a little conservative, and then I just connected. I know it's a very bad shape, but I thought, oh well. So I connect and white connects, and then finally I go into the corner and then white tenukis. So at this point, the white in the corner is pretty dead, and black can still hane over here and attack these 3 stones. But right now I want to play in the corner, maybe look at the white's weakness on R10, and then maybe get Sente. So that's the idea. And then I want to get the corner alive. But then, white tenukis. Yeah, I was surprised because I thought white would play around here. And then I wasn't sure if I would go about this or maybe do something inside here before white turns everything into territory. So I was wondering about it, and then a little surprised to see white actually plays here first. So I come over here attacking the upper side, and then white comes out. And now I want to do something about this white's shape, which I think is very weak. So I do that. Ultimately, I didn't kill anything, but I got all these moves in Sente, and that was good enough. So do that, and then white comes over here. And these were just Sente exchanges. And then before I decide what to do about here, I thought I would kind of do a probing move to see how white responds to this move. So basically, if white harness, I was going to exchange this one and block, and then white needs to come back. And then I would tenuki and then maybe come around here. So at this point, I think territory-wise probably very close, but it's black's turn. And then this white group over here, it's strong, but it's not alive yet. So I think it's probably not a bad situation for black, although I wouldn't be too confident that I'm actually ahead. And then if white kinda insists on saving the 2 stones, I don't know. I thought maybe I would get some Sente moves and then maybe respond to this. Well, the thing is that I didn't think this was very critical, although it's pretty big in terms of territory. And I guess I should worry about later white's potential to start call. This would put the entire Whites group also at risk. So I don't think it was a high probability, but still, if you're winning, this is a kind of thing that you should kind of think about. Although if White doesn't start it right away, I guess I could make this exchange in Sente. So maybe that front was okay. So maybe White didn't want this situation, so White plays here. And then save the 2 stones like this. But of course that was a huge mistake because now White cannot connect. So this is the point where White resigned in the actual game. I was very surprised that the game ended so early when I thought it was still a difficult game. But now that I think about it, maybe it wasn't bad for Black after all. So anyway, that was the 6th round. And I saw Mingju lost and my other teammate Jeremy. I'm not 100% sure because the City League website is not updated yet. But I think I've seen him lose on PandaNet. So if that's true, we also lost against Waterloo. So that would mean Bay Area team has 4 wins and 2 losses. But that's still a good result, right? And the next round is against New York City. And I believe New York hasn't lost a single round so far. So it will be pretty nice if we can win. And I'll try to review that game as well. So that's the 2 games I had for the City League. And I hope it was interesting to watch. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.